Hi, Mary Sherwood Savinsky. Thank you for visiting today. I'm happy to speak with you today. I thought I'd talk with you a little bit about volunteering. I preach it to my clients all the time. You should think about volunteering, especially if they've been off for a while. And if you've been off work for a while and looking for work, you know how lonely and kind of dis- depressing that it can be, really. You don't get a lot of social feedback, you don't get a lot of acknowledgement, you don't have a lot to feed your self confidence to help you feel worthwhile. So I do ask you to seriously consider volunteering, and you can volunteer for a number of reasons. Sometimes the simplest reason is just to get out of the house, have a reason to get up and get dressed and get out and see people beyond running errands or going to the grocery store. Um, so that can be a valuable thing in and of itself. Um, but mostly, volunteering can give you a good feeling. It really validates you as a person. It gives you something to feel like you're contributing to something larger than yourself. And this is something that we miss when we're out of work for so long. We just don't have any validation or a sense of self confidence coming back to us. We're lucky if we get rejection letters these days from employers. So, it can be really hard to be unemployed and try to maintain the positive focus that you need to keep going in your job search. So, even if you just volunteer once a week at like a local nursing home or a food bank or a thrift store, that may be just enough for you to get a sense of self-worth back and to get some social validation back that you're missing from being off work. But there's other kind of more mercenary reasons to volunteer, quite frankly, even beyond that. If you've been off work for a while, certainly if you've been off since uh, last year, you want to have something current on your resume. It gets a little challenging if you have a large gap in your work history to present that work history on your resume in a way that will um, make it appear to employers that you are a potential candidate that they're interested in looking at. You've heard it, and it's true. I can guarantee that it's easier to find a job if you have a job. Nobody says that the work history or the experience that you list has to be paid employment. So look at volunteering for companies doing something that is related to what you would like to do, or that's going to give you a skill that's going to benefit you in the job market, that's going to help you get a job. And you can present it to the employer as an on the job training, or as a job shadowing, or as an internship, and explain to them what you would get out of it. I expect to get out of it A, B, C, D. Whether it's just, a sense of being able to contribute, or if it's, to learn some new computer skills, whatever it is. Be very upfront with the employer and let them know this is what you're looking for. And in return, you're going to get some hours a week or a day of my work and effort, and I'm going to put my best foot forward for you. Very much related to that is that you can get a reference from the person that you're volunteering for, especially if it's work related, even if it's not. A reference can go a long way to helping you. Having a letter of reference to hand to an employer during an interview is going to give you a step up that not everybody else is going to have. The employer is going to be calling references of the other applicants and maybe have two or three letters of reference from you right with your resume. So that's really going to give you a leg up. It'll give you an opportunity to network too. You're going to be coming in contact with other people that you wouldn't normally come in contact with. And networking is really kind of an unusual method of job searching. And I know my clients struggle with understanding what it really is and how it can really help you. But networking in a volunteer setting can open you up to meeting so many more people that you wouldn't have met, and their connections that you could not imagine it. You really couldn't. It's each person could know 50 people that you would never be in touch with unless you did that volunteer situation. And it's funny, a lot of the people that I get jobs for will get them because their neighbor or their church member just knew that they were off work, and their cousin that they hadn't talked to in ages came in for a family reunion and just happened to mention that they have a friend in town that's looking to hire the exact position that you're looking to get into. So, I mean, you have to really cover all your bases and put yourself out there, and that can be very hard. But if you're going somewhere on a regular basis, you're going to start feeling better about yourself, and it's going to get easier to put yourself out there and to network and to benefit from network. You're going to see that self-confidence coming back to you and really shoring you up in a way that you haven't had since you've been off work. When we're working, we get at the very least a paycheck. Sometimes we get an annual review, sometimes we don't. Occasionally we get a good job, but at the very least we get a paycheck. And that is some sense of validation that you are worthy, so to speak. That's how things work here in America. Good old capitalism, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you've been off work, you do struggle to maintain that sense of self-worth because you don't have it coming back to you like you do when you're seeing people every day and going to work for a paycheck every day. The other big thing that volunteering can do for you is to expose you to other career paths that you may not have considered. You may go into an employer with the idea of, you know what, I'd really like to improve my database skills, let's say. I've done some data entry, a little bit of inventory, entering, that kind of thing, but I'd really like to learn more about, how the databases work. And you might approach the employer with that in mind at first. But after you've been in there, you may find you have a real knack for that and can get really quite fancy with it and can really turn that into a career path and go to more of a into more of a computer field than you had maybe planned to do. You may have planned to stay in business, whatever that means these days. And may find that you have more of a bent and a natural inclination to work with computers, and that's all good. That's things that you may not have ever thought about doing, that may really turn into a whole career plan for you. So those are some of the reasons why volunteering is something that you should consider if you're unemployed. Not to mention there's just a lot of folks out there that need help. They may need your skills. You may end up deciding to help needy people, low-income folks learn how to use basic computer skills at your local community action or social service agency. Whatever you can think of that will allow you to contribute to somebody else and to feel that sense of self-satisfaction and self-confidence that you're maybe missing when you're off work. Good luck, and I can't wait to hear that you got the job. Take care. Talk to you soon.